Cybersecurity researchers use AI to write new exploits for brand new critical vulnerabilities in minutes. Record phone and digital device searches at the US border. A fired developer jailed for years for sabotaging his former employer. And a massive crackdown on cybercrime in Africa. This is Cybersecurity Today, and I'm your host, David Shipley, coming to you from Fredericton, New Brunswick. Let's dive in. If AI can mass produce exploits, how much time do defenders really have left? That's the chilling question raised by new research from Effie Weiss and Naaman Kayed. Their approach using AI can generate working exploits for newly published vulnerabilities, known as CVEs, in as little as 10 to 15 minutes. Each exploit costs about $1 to produce. Traditionally, defenders have counted on a bit of a grace period, sometimes days, sometimes weeks, before attackers had reliable exploit code for new critical vulnerabilities. In 2021, the average was over a month. By 2023, that time had dropped to about 5 days. And in extreme cases, it's already being measured in minutes. Cloudflare observed attackers launching an exploit in just 22 minutes after a proof of concept went public. Now, imagine that window collapsing completely. The approach to AI works in stages. The approach to using AI to create these exploits works in stages. Analyzing advisories, pulling patches, generating a vulnerable test app, and then iteratively writing and refining the exploit until it succeeds. With over 130 plus new CVEs discovered daily, that's potentially a fire hose of instant attack code. And attackers are already straining. This summer, CISA issued not one, but 2 emergency directives, giving U.S. federal agencies very little time to patch a critical vulnerability. One gave them a weekend. Another, for Citrix Bleed 2, was just 24 hours. That was the fastest patch mandate on record so far. So defenders now face AI that can arm attackers in minutes, and patch orders measured in hours. The marathon of security has become a constant series of sprints. The question is, how long can we keep up? Now from digital threats to security at the border. Wired magazine reports that searches of phones, laptops, and digital devices at U.S. border crossings hit a record high this spring, with more than 15,000 searches between April and June. That's a 17% jump from the biggest 3-month spike that was observed in 2022. Border agents in most countries have extraordinary powers to inspect devices, both for citizens and visitors. In the US, border agents in most countries already have extraordinary powers to inspect devices of both citizens and visitors. In the United States, if you're a citizen or permanent resident and you refuse, your device can still be confiscated and searched, and you might face additional screening at the border. If you're a visitor, refusal can mean denial of entry, detention, or deportation. Some reports even suggest travelers have been denied entry based on political content found on devices. Combined with expanded DHS and ICE budgets under the Trump administration, some worry this trend is already chilling tourism even further. Travel from Europe to the US has dipped, and Canadians have cut back on trips to the US for 7 consecutive months. For organizations, this isn't a political or privacy issue. It's a compliance one. Companies may need to equip traveling staff with clean devices, free of sensitive data. And for individuals, it means reviewing apps and messages before crossing a border to make sure you're comfortable with what may be viewed. The lesson here: at the border, national security trumps digital privacy. Prepare accordingly. Next, we've got a sobering case from Ohio that highlights the dangers inside organization walls, and one they may be inadvertently making worse. David Liu, a software developer at Eaton Corporation, was sentenced to 4 years in prison after planting a hidden kill switch in the company's systems. When he was fired in 2019, his account deactivation in Active Directory triggered the code, crashing servers, deleting files, and locking out employees. Investigators say the recovery was delayed because Liu also deleted backups. But the deeper lesson isn't just about one bad actor. Research from Carnegie Mellon's CERT program and the Ponemon Institute shows that insider threats are often a slow burn. Perceived unfair treatment, layoffs, or being passed over can gradually turn loyalty into resentment. Nearly 20% of insider cases involve former employees, with many citing workplace grievances. And here's the warning for today's workplace. Companies rushing to replace skilled IT staff or software developers with automation or AI may make their cybersecurity's risk worse if they don't handle changes with compassion and care. Employees who feel discarded or sidelined are more likely to rationalize sabotage or data theft as payback. The takeaway is clear. Respectful offboarding, open communication, and a culture of trust are as critical as technical defenses. Because when trust erodes, the threat isn't outside the walls, it's already inside. Finally, some good news. Interpol's Operation Serengeti 2.0 has delivered a major blow to cybercrime. Over the course of several months, authorities from 18 African countries working with the United Kingdom arrested more than 1,200 suspects, dismantled over 11,000 criminal networks, and recovered nearly $100 million. The groups targeted were behind ransomware, business email compromise, and online scams. Schemes that cost 90,000 victims nearly $500 million worldwide. What makes this operation notable was collaboration, not just among the 18 African governments in the UK, but also with private sector partners like Fortinet, Trend Micro, and the Shadow Server Foundation. It's an example of what works when industry and law enforcement join forces. The fight against cybercrime is global and constant, and sometimes, just like with this case, we win. That's Cybersecurity Today. Jim Love, Michael Joyce, and I took a deep dive this weekend into some overblown headlines around phishing training and cybersecurity awareness in the weekend show. If you're interested in the human side of cyber, check it out on YouTube or go back and listen to it on your favorite podcast platform. As always, stay skeptical, stay patched, and ask yourself, how fast can your organization patch internet-facing systems? Because the 15-minute or less exploit onslaught is real, and it's coming. We'd love to hear from you. Email us at editorial@technews.ca or leave a comment under the YouTube video. And if you enjoyed the show, a small ask. Please like, subscribe, leave a review, and tell a friend about the show. I've been your host, David Shipley. Jim Love will be back on Wednesday. Have a great day.